Again already. I can't believe it's Wednesday already again. But yeah, it's Wednesday. Here we are again for our weekly gardening chat here at Wednesday Live on the Urban Gardener. I'm Enid Graham. I'm your host today. Thank you all so much for joining with me here today for our live stream, and all of you who are joining us on the replay. Thank you so much. Be sure to hit that like button if you got a chance. And whoa, forgot to hit the mute button on that. All right, let's see here. But yeah, let's see here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I hope that we're going live. Let's see. Okay. Nothing like more really good technical difficulties to get us started here. So let's see here what's going on. And maybe we got an issue. Let me check. No, looks like everything's going all right. I wish I could see the phone and everything because I'm still using this iPhone and everything in order to do our live streams right now. And I'm sure, the audio quality, as I've been noticing over the last couple of weeks, isn't quite the best right now. But all of that is going to be changing here real shortly. I've got some things in the works that we're going to do to kind of change and beef up this live stream a little bit more and hopefully make it a little bit more fun for everybody. I've got some pretty fun ideas I'm working on right now. Um, let's see. I don't know what's going on. Let's try. Huh. I am not getting a playback or any chats. Let's see. Hmm. All right. Well, maybe there's something that has to do with my computer. Let me know if there's anything wrong with the live stream there, if you're watching it all, um, if you can hear me or anything at all like that. I'd hate to have to start or try to do this over. That's what I'm saying too. Just kind of the way I've got everything set up right now just kind of makes everything really difficult as far as handling everything. I just want to make sure that I'm consistently here every Wednesday right now for everybody so that we can build a really good audience for this live chat session that I've got here. And yeah, so I'm going to have to kind of improve some of the setup. And one of them is definitely set up something different other than the feed that I'm using through my phone at the moment. So and that just seems to really give me some connectivity issues when it comes to other things. And so hopefully, let's see. So yeah, I'm not too sure exactly what's going on. I'm not seeing anybody here, so I don't know if that's really because of the problem I'm having right now or says I'm live. Again, let me double check the phone because it's rolling. Yeah, it says we're live. I'm just not getting anything from our feed here, so I'm just going to kind of go at it a little bit here for just a little bit and see how things go and just kind of roll along with things here. I just can't see what's going on, or I'm not too sure exactly whether or not I'm getting anybody fed in. Uh, but the phone and YouTube and all of that seems to say that I'm live right now, so I'm just going to kind of keep going with it. Again, sorry about all the technical difficulties. It seems to be kind of something we're dealing with here the last couple of weeks here on the channel, and I'm sure it's just a lot because of what I've got for my setup, as I was just saying. I do have a camera and another setup that we're going to do. I'm working on getting a new microphone, so we'll have a whole microphone hookup, new camera setup here, and the lenses on that's going to be able to give us a whole different kind of look as well too. Plus some things that I'm working on getting set up as far as the setup of the live stream, and then what we're going to be doing with the live stream moving forward as well too. And I'm sure that you're all really going to want to tune in and check out some of the changes that we've got coming up here in the next few weeks. We will be kind of going along with a little bit of what we've got, especially when we head out on the road after next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I leave here in Southern Oregon and I start heading south, and we're going to go on our way, probably a short stop in Las Vegas to go visit a friend of mine, another YouTuber, John Kohler, and go and do hopefully a little video with him and a couple little segments I've got some ideas on. And then from there, we're going to be moving on over to Los Angeles, where I've got several different meetups and several different videos planned for all of you. These are really exciting. Some of these things I've been working on and thinking about since last year, before everything kind of hit and happened, and I had to kind of cancel most all of those trips and all that sort of stuff this last season. So now we get back on board with some of these ideas and some of these really cool meetups. A couple of them I'm really excited about bringing to you guys and making really good videos in order to really kind of really kind of show these projects really in their best light, the best I can here through the Urban Gardener and our channel. So that, and we're also going to get to see some people that we've seen before. I just mentioned John Kohler. We've had him on the channel a couple of different times before, and going to be real exciting to get back with John again and see how his gardening or his gardens are growing and all of that in Las Vegas. And I'm still not sure yet. He does have two different places, so it might actually be Northern California too. He has a place in Northern California, so we're still trying to work on the logistics of that. But that's all just kind of south of me. So however that sets up, we either go that way or we go that way, and we'll have it all set up to go. It's all on the way to Los Angeles, where I've got these really cool projects again I'm really excited about, and I hope that you all get a chance to check out some of those videos, as they'll start be coming out probably towards the end of June coming up. We're going to spend the first couple of weeks out there visiting, filming, and doing the interviewing and all that sort of stuff, and then we'll be putting together videos shortly after getting back from that trip. It's going to be great. I'm really excited about it. I've been spending the whole last week or so just kind of confirming and messaging and talking with people and really getting some things together. There's a few more I've got to finish up and kind of get confirmed officially, but for the most part, everything seems to be lining up just right, so that I'm going to get the opportunity to see the most people and do the most videos. That way I have a really good opportunity to show you guys some of these really cool gardens out there and some of these other really cool gardeners, so that's really exciting. So kind of going at it here, kind of blind a little bit right now. So I do see maybe there might be someone here, but if there is anybody watching right now live, get in the chat box real quick. Let me know you're here. Let me know you can hear this and see this and all of that. That would really help me out a little bit, because like I said, YouTube seems to tell me that I'm actually going live. I just can't see everything from the other side of my phone, so I'm kind of going at it blind from my computer, which everything else kind of seems to be working all right, but yet just this computer. So I don't know, maybe. All right, excellent. Brampton Gardner, you're here. Awesome. Thank you for joining me here and letting me know that I can that my live stream's actually going out there. I'm kind of going on and on and on, because the YouTube part that's on the phone basically says that I'm live, and so obviously I am now. Awesome. That's great too. So I haven't been talking for nothing for the last few minutes. But anyways, again, thank you for joining me here, just kind of talking a little bit about what we've got going on here in the next few weeks for our channel, and some of the things that we got going on here for our garden right now. There's I've got, everything's been kind of leading up to this moment to when I'm going to take off and I'm going to head out on this trip. And so each day there's a lot of things and there's a checklist, and I've got to get this stuff done, and it's all leading up to most everything being planted in, and about everything just going and all set in and tucked into the garden. And that way I can kind of take off for just a little bit, go do a few videos on the road, and then you know, from there we'll uh, be doing some videos and kind of really showing everybody how and what's been growing on in our gardens. We do have a lot of really cool videos in store that I'm working on too. That's part of all of that, is building up, doing all this sort of stuff, and getting these videos all ready. So I have videos all set, ready to go for everybody while I'm on my trip, and that'll just kind of upload and do all of that sort of stuff itself, and then and then we should be growing. We should be growing on right into the summer, because summer's just right around the corner, and that's another thing too. It's starting to get real warm around here, and I think by next week already, I think even just right, probably even the first day of June, it's supposed to be like 100 degrees around here. So we're already going to start seeing triple digits. So it's going to be a heck of a summer again, I'm telling you, that's for sure. Especially where I live here on the West Coast, where you know, we really dry up real quick in our springtime. We haven't seen hardly much of rain at all. Um, every time the weather report says there's going to be rain, I'm like, yes, yes. And then I even think like, well, okay, if there's going to be rain coming, you know, I got to think about watering and all that sort of stuff. But man, it hasn't actually been coming at all. Just a little kind of light sprinkle, maybe just the other day when it was saying it was going to rain, and that was like a mist that maybe kind of didn't even get a chance to land, you know, just kind of swayed. But you know, that doesn't really bode well too much for where we're going here in the next few weeks, as things are going to really start to heat up for us here on the West Coast. And then again, we'll start to see what happens later on in the summer and going into fall. And for us during the summertime here in Washington, Oregon, part of the Pacific Northwest, that's really the heavy time for us when it comes to fires and our fire season. But right after our fire season is kind of, you know, hopefully kind of winding down. That's really when it starts kicking up for California and those in the Southwest. And boy, oh boy, it gets really crazy in like in the September type of time. In fact, well, it was September here though for us when we had the Alameda fire that actually was blowing up just a few neighborhoods away from me. So that was a pretty horrible one. Burnt down just, you know, a whole bunch of homes, made a whole lot of people homeless around here. So just kind of praying and hoping that you know, things will be a little bit better this year. And maybe it's kind of psychological too in my mind, because I think a lot about that too. Over the last few seasons, it's been horrible here on the West Coast. It's been heartbreaking to watch the damage, and for me, where I live, being so close to some of the areas that have been burning out. The Paradise Fire, which is just right across the border in California there. A lot of those people came up here into my area in the Rogue Valley after that fire, and when they were burned out of their homes, they came here to our area. We saw a lot of people who were affected by that fire, and then to have Phoenix and Talent and outside of Ashland, you know, all burn up right along the I-5 corridor right there. It was really horrible and all of that. So really, really hoping that things will be a little bit different. But the outlook right now and the way things are going, it's starting to get warmer and hotter even earlier again this year. So again, don't even know. And again, like I said, it's probably just heavy on my mind because of, you know, all the tragedy, you know. So again, let's see. Thank you everybody again for joining me here. Kind of flying at this. I don't get to see what's really going on. I do have a little look on the comments, but I can't see what's actually happening here, whether or not there's issues with the actual video feed or not. So again, hit the thumbs up button if you're here and you did get a chance to, and hit the comment box there, whether you're on your computer or you're on a mobile down below, and let me know you're here. Let me know what you got growing on in your gardens. Let me know what you got happening, or if you have any questions or anything like that. If not, I'm just babbling on about all this and that going on. Again, just a ton of things that I'm planting out still. We're really at that point where we've just passed the last frost date here this last week or so. So I've just been really busy kind of getting some of the starts that I have planted. I have a few that I'm still kind of waiting on to be ready to go out into the garden. So there's a few more things. Hopefully, again, like I said, that's all going to wind down and everything will be planted out by the end of this weekend. And then the garden is pretty much set for the year. And then it's all about tending it, taking care of it, and then watching it grow and seeing how what kind of fruits and harvests and things like that we're going to be able to get from all of our different plants and our different things growing on in the garden. When I get back though too, actually from this trip, that'll be mid June, getting us towards the end of June, and at that point in time we'll be checking and seeing, but we'll be looking at garlic. I mean, I've got a ton of garlic growing out there right now, and that'll be about ready to be harvested. And I've got a cool video set up for that that'll be coming out. I've got some cool footage I've been saving up and doing that, so keep an eye out for that. That'll be coming out when I come back, and when we harvest the garlic up. And then we've got just the tomatoes I'm going to be planting out here too. I've got those all ready to go. I think they'll be planted out tomorrow or the next day if things, right in that window right there. But they should all be out in the garden. And we've got some really great varieties of tomatoes this year that I'm hoping will really do well in our gardens this year. And then, of course, all of the peppers. Peppers, in fact, are right now in their hardening off process. So they are outdoors. They're getting used to a little bit of the outdoor environment. And today, in their hardening off process, and probably it'll be happening about another hour or so like that, they're going to get their first taste of sun. So they're out there getting used to things, getting ready to go. So we'll have a ton of really cool, great varieties of peppers that I'm excited to show you growing in our gardens this year as they continue growing and start fruiting later on in this season. Oh, looks like we got Jay with us. Jay, thanks for joining with me here. Good to see you here. Good to see all of you guys joining with me here for this live stream. And again, also all of you who are following along with us on the replay too. Get down in the comments section too. Let me know you're here, and let me know what you got growing on in your gardens. So yeah, we got peppers, all of our melons, and I've got a really cool big variety of pumpkin I'm going to grow in the space that I usually grow my pumpkin in. So I'm kind of excited about seeing how that does. I I grew a pumpkin variety last season that I got from somebody that was supposed to be like one of these really giant, huge pumpkins, and I was like, how cool would it be to kind of like right on the corner, just kind of like really, and I have to really kind of work it and move it and kind of keep it moved back to kind of keep it off the alleyway space just a little bit. But I've been able to do that with most of the pumpkin varieties I've been growing in the space that I've got. But it's like right on this corner part of the alleyway. And I thought, how cool would it be to try to get a big one right there? And I got this one last year, and it was probably the smallest pumpkin I've ever grown in that space before. I've actually had some really great, decent sized field pumpkins that I grew a couple of years in a row. Got some really decent ones that came off of those vines for the space that we're growing them in, and kind of how I have to train them and do all of that. They were really great. So I'm kind of excited about seeing whether or not this variety that I've got works out for us and giving us a really cool, really big type of pumpkin for us. All right, let's see here. We've got Artist in a Garden. All right, well, thanks for joining us. And it's really good to see you there. And everybody else here on the live stream. I'm just kind of talking about some of the things that I've got planting out in the garden. We're going to be getting most all of the things in our garden is going to be all planted out by the end of this weekend. And there's a lot of things. I've got quite a few different starts that I've grown out from seed I like to grow most of my stuff from my own seed or seed that I get from others, and or instead of starts that I buy from the store or the nurseries or garden centers. And but I don't know. I've got several different varieties of certain things that I seeded out this year that are just not working out for me this year, as well as they have before in other years. So really, I'm kind of wondering, you know, um, what the issue is ultimately with the seed, because there are different varieties from different places and different types of things completely, and maybe it's just the soil, certain things like that that I'm using, but yet I've got a bunch of other ones, that are growing excellent, in the same soil. So, I'm trying to go through and figure out kind of what the issue is there, but ultimately, probably going to end up having to head off to the garden center and pick out some different starts in order to kind of fill in some of the spaces that I'm not going to have some of these plants that I was planning on to get into the gardens. So, yeah. Aphids attacking my peas. Did a short on it. Yep, it is that time of year. Aphids and aphids of all different colors, all different varieties, all different types are out and about all over our gardens, all over the place. Aphids, and there are a few things, some people like to really, and I do and have, spray out neem oil. You can add some neem oil to some water with just like a little drop of some dish soap. Dish soap kind of helps that stuff kind of attach itself to the plant, and then that neem kind of just really goes out and attacks those sort of things and kind of helps keep them off of the plant. But with aphids, ultimately what I end up doing, and because they do start attacking parts of the gardens, I try to keep an eye out all over the gardens, especially this time of year, and inspecting plants, not only for aphids, but other sorts of pests, cabbage worms all over my brassicas and things like that, but I'm out there looking for them, and it's first sign, especially first sign of aphids, I'm going to get out there and I'm just going to start washing things off. I'm going to wash them off. And then wherever I know that that's happening, and that's where it started, I'm going to go out there every single day and I'll wash them off. They're going to come back and then they're going to wash them off. And that's going to go on probably for a few days. And usually I've found that, it's going to take me about 4 or 5 days ultimately before I've pushed off that pressure. And it's just washing the plants, hosing them off, getting a nice little spray, not too hard where you're going to damage the plant, but hard enough where you're going to be able to push those things right off. And after they fly off of there, they're not going to survive very much longer. They're very soft bodied, so like they hit the soil, all of those organisms and microorganisms that are living in that soil, they're going to pretty much take care of them real quick. Or they're going to fly off and hit some cement or some sort of flat surface of some sort, dry up or burn up in the sun or something. So once they get off the plant, you don't have to worry about those ones, but they are hiding all over in there, and they're very quick to procreate and build up populations again. And so that's why I say it's something I have to do every day. But usually if I keep a good enough eye out and I attack them early and I just use some good water pressure, usually am able to kind of keep those at bay and keep them off of things. And then from there, you kind of push them off. You do certain things to get rid of them on those certain places where they're attacking or coming in. And then after that, usually you keep those populations down. I don't have to necessarily be fighting them all season long, like I have in seasons past where I don't catch them early enough or I'm not paying attention, and they've taken over all certain plants, and they're flying over and catching themselves onto other plants and all of that, drifting in the wind, and they catch another plant and they end up spreading all over the place, and then at that point you're battling and battling and battling and battling, and even then like those neem oils and all of that, man, it's still a really hard battle to kind of face. So you want to get them early. You want to keep checking and looking and keeping an eye on all that stuff. Um, from when you start seeing those problems to begin with. And again, like I said, with brassicas, you got those cabbage worms. You're probably seeing them flying around all over, those pretty little white butterflies flying all over the place, landing all over your different plants, laying their eggs right up underneath of those leaves all over the place. And then they start popping up and eating the heck out of all of your really delicious brassicas, like the broccolis and cabbages and all those sort of things that are out there, and it takes them no time at all too. Those little tiny things, well, as soon as they're born, they get so big, and it's amazing, that they eat as much as they do to get as big as they do, because they're, but they eat a lot. They eat a lot. All right. Let's keep it. Added nematodes had a big problem last year with root maggots. Oh gosh, yeah. Those aren't really fun at all. I haven't had too much of an issue, except for like a couple of different plants and a couple of things maybe a few seasons ago. Luckily, it's not something I've had to have that big of a deal. But if it's a big problem for you, that's not good. And yes, yuck. Anything when it comes to like that sort of stuff, and they're really, of course, they're just really maggots in general. They're just creepy, yucky things when it comes down to it. The damage and all of that sort of stuff that ends up happening and everything else is a big yuck as well. Let's see. Yes, excellent. Supporting each other and all of our different channels that we have here. Some of us who are making videos and putting together videos for YouTube and sharing our experiences, our gardens, and what works for us and the different things that we're learning and all of that. I really enjoy the gardening community. I think it's one of the coolest things about YouTube, and it's a really great thing about having this channel as well too, and being able to kind of build a little bit of community around my channel with a lot of other smaller channels that are out there as well too, and for all of you to be able to meet up with each other, especially right here on this live stream. It's a great opportunity for us to be able to kind of get together and share our different garden experiences here once a week on our Wednesday live stream every 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on the Urban Gardener channel. Each week we get together and talk about gardening, talk about the different things that are going on. And, if there's several of us who've got different channels and videos to share, and be able to share those with each other and share our channels with each other too, that's really great. And it kind of goes along with some of the things that I'm kind of working on and kind of developing a little bit more for this live stream. Right now, like I said, and I was talking a little bit about this earlier for a lot of you who are joining now who haven't seen the stream from earlier. I was kind of talking a little bit of that because I kind of got another technical funky start to this live stream because of the hookup I've got. I'm just using basically a phone link to YouTube right now through my phone, and that's how we're loading up and uploading this live stream to YouTube. But I've got some other things in the works. I've got a different camera and a different setup. I'm going to be getting a microphone and that sort of stuff, so that'll kind of fix some of the sound, some of the more technical issues that I'm dealing with, and then from there, hopefully we'll be able to put together some more of my other ideas, which I will be sharing with people just a little bit more in a couple more weeks after I get back from a trip that I'm making to Southern California by way of Las Vegas or Northern California. I'm still not too sure yet. I'm still waiting for a friend of mine to get back to me. We're going to confirm exactly where he's going to be at. He's got a couple of different great home gardens. He's got a home in Northern California and a home down in Los Angeles, and he's got a couple of great gardens that he features on YouTube, and I'm really excited about getting back together with him after all of the time we've had to kind of hunker down because of all of the pandemic and all of that sort of stuff. It's going to be really great to be able to go out and visit people again and start reconnecting and sharing our gardens and creating videos for some of us video creators. Okay, let's see. Frere Garcon. Frere Garcon. Nice. Thank you very much for joining with us here on the live stream. Thanks for jumping in on the chat. Gardner from LA, all doing well. Okay, well, and then the next question is kind of about what I was just talking about, because I was talking about I'm going to LA. Well, it's good to see you here. You know, I'm going to be down there. Oh gosh, I think somewhere around the 6th, 7th, probably through like the 13th or so, something like that. For about a week or so, I'm gonna be down there. I've got several different projects, meetups, and videos that I'm going to be doing with some other channels or some other really cool projects that they got that are going on down in Los Angeles, and some organizations that I've been looking to do some videos with for the last couple of years actually. So it's finally going to be able to get some of those things going on. So yeah, it's oh well. Garcon, it's Wayne. Yes, Wayne. I've been meaning, actually, I was talking about that earlier. I've got a couple of more things going on, and I will be getting with you real shortly, actually. So look forward to a message from you real soon, because I'm just waiting on one other thing. Once I get that figured out, I will have my whole schedule nailed down completely. And Wayne's one of our members in our Let's Get Growing gardening group on Facebook. In fact, Wayne's probably one of our best and biggest contributors of some of the really great pictures. You know, I really like it when members and people are sharing the pictures of their gardens, showing the progress of all the things that they're getting. And Wayne's one of those ones who's been contributing now for several weeks, and being from Southern California, he's been growing for several weeks. He's got things that I'm just getting started with that he's already been harvesting and all of that. So he's one of those guys that you get in your group who's really get your mouth watering for some of those things that you get in your later harvests, because he's got a lot of that stuff coming up out of his gardens already and stuff too. So yes, I am going to be sending you a message real soon, Wayne, and thank you for joining me here on our live stream. And it's good to have you here with us. It's good to have all of you here with us and joining with me and hanging out here this Wednesday. As you know, just busy, doing all this sort of stuff in the garden, trying to get everything finished up, nice and tidy and put into place and all set up. I got another big project I'm actually in the middle of working on today, which is going to carry on over into tomorrow. That'll hopefully have finished up, and when that's done, that's going to really change some things really big for our garden here in the gardens. And so hopefully you can follow along here, check out some of our videos that we got coming up here as well too, to kind of show you some of that stuff. Those are videos I'm making right now, shooting all that footage, so that I can release those videos over the next couple of weeks while I'm away in Southern California. You'll be getting all caught up with the different things that I've got going on in the gardens right now, all the different things that we're planting out, all the different things that we're setting up in these projects. And by the time I get back from California, you'll have been all caught up with what we got here in the garden, and a whole spring garden tour too. So I'm going to take you through everything that we've got going on in the garden, so everybody be all caught up with what we got growing on here, and we'll start moving on into some harvests and some other growing tips and things that I want to show you guys. I've got a couple of other video features of some stuff that we're going to talk about as well. So I'm really excited about a lot of the content that we've got coming up for the Urban Gardener, because I'm really kind of reset, and it really feels good. Last year, coming out of 2019, and the winter of 2019 was not necessarily a good one for me personally, and I had some health issues and some things that just really made some things pretty difficult. And then just as maybe things might be going okay, and I'm thinking, okay, let me start working on some of these things, and I wasn't going to give up some plans and all that sort of stuff. Just as all that stuff was starting to come around, and spring was hitting and all of that, and everything got shut down. And it was a real bummer, so all of that sort of stuff having to happen and having to wait. So kind of, just been kind of floating along here on the Urban Gardener and our channel and just doing all that sort of stuff. And I've been kind of re-gearing up this year to kind of get reset to bring out the content and do some of the things that I've been wanting to do since, the year before. So it's going to be great. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, I'm not too sure here exactly what's going on technically with everything. My holes. Let me see what's going on from over here. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's a little bit better. I still don't have a screen, and I still can't tell, and that's one of the problems with not being able to see things right here. Is I can't tell when things are going wrong on the other side there, or some notification of sorts that the phone has to tell me. And really, because I forgot to plug the thing in too, so the battery got low. Notification for that came up, so I think that might have been what froze it. So yes, okay, excellent. So I'm moving up again, and we're going. We're alive still. So yeah, there's some of these technical difficulties I'm kind of having to work through and kind of do all of that sort of stuff right now too. So hopefully we'll get all that stuff figured out here. Like I said, in another few weeks, when I get back from Southern California, I should have some equipment and some things that I'm gonna have to kind of train myself on, hopefully pretty quickly, and then I'll have that all set up. So probably going into July, like I would say, I would expect by July we should be pumping out some really cool new live streams for everybody. It's going to be reset up. It's going to be a whole different experience. It's not going to be just like this. It's not going to be. And here's one thing I'll kind of clue in a little bit for anybody who's watching the live stream right now, especially here we are 37 minutes into this one. If you're watching here and you're watching now, I'll clue you in on the idea. It's not going to be just me when it comes to the live streams coming up here. It's not going to be just me. That's one clue about some of the things that's going on. I've got a lot of great ideas. I've been talking with some people, getting some things set up. And plus there's a real huge thing that's going on with the channel too. For everybody who's watching right now, watching on the replay, if you're watching this and that, watch next Wednesday. Come back next Wednesday. Be here next Wednesday because I'm going to talk about that big thing. It's a big issue for this channel. It's a big issue for all of us. And I'll be revealing and talking all about that this next Wednesday for this Wednesday live stream coming up here. And that'll be the last live stream for a couple of weeks right here from our place. And the next couple of live streams from there will be coming from locations I've got a place and a live stream set up for us that'll hopefully be really cool, and we'll get it all set up in Los Angeles for one of our meetups, and so that'll kind of reveal one of our meetups in that Wednesday live stream. So that'll be the week after next, but next week I got a really great announcement, really cool things happening with the channel, and more of that will also kind of be talked about too in that next live stream from Southern California as well too. We'll be talking a lot more about that, as well as possibly a kind, instead of a Wednesday live stream, which we do here every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time every Wednesday. But I'm going to do like kind of maybe an impromptu type live stream. We're going to kind of, I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be. It'll probably, I have an idea of where the location will be. That'll be kind of be based on something happening that we'll talk again a lot more about this next week. I can go on and on and on about it, but then it's only just like this really big tease. But I guess maybe if you want people to tune in, that's what you're supposed to do, right? That's how they do it on the channels, and that's how they do it on everything else, And so But yeah, excellent. So thank you for joining me, everybody, and thanks for taking time out of your day here on Wednesday to kind of hang out with us a little bit here and kind of hang out through a couple of these different issues that I've got going on here with our technical issues and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, got a lot of things coming up for the channel, and I'm really glad that you all have hung in there with me here, especially those of you who are watching us on the replay again. I know a lot of people are watching on the replay because, not everybody has the opportunity to join with us here on Wednesday. But I really do appreciate all of you who take the time to watch our live streams and watch all of our videos. And if you haven't had a chance to, I put out a couple of videos every Sunday. We put a video upload on Sundays, and coming up real soon, it's probably going to be moving to twice a week. We're probably going to be doing videos uploaded on Friday and Sunday. So you get a live stream on Wednesday and upload on Friday and Sunday, and then maybe some other small little pieces and features and things that you'll be able to catch up with us on some of our other platforms. We have a page on Facebook. There's a Facebook page for the Urban Gardener. All of that link is down below. There's also a group, again, like I was mentioning, Wayne member there, Frere Garcon in the chat box there, is a member of our group, Let's Get Growing, and you can check out his pictures and gardens and all of our other different group members and all of that, and join our group there. And again, too, I've been actually doing a lot more on Instagram. It's something I don't know why I've really been avoiding it, because I've actually been enjoying it over the last couple of weeks, doing a lot more on Instagram, connecting there and doing that sort of stuff. So if you want to see some more things, I'm going to try to explore doing some extra things with those platforms as well, for anybody who wants to follow with some of those other things going on. But we're going to be doing that. That's going to be the big goal with the channel here coming up over the next few weeks, is really just kind of pumping out and gearing up and putting out more content and more things, so that viewers and subscribers of this channel will have a lot more to look forward to in our garden adventures here on the Urban Gardener. Again, I'm really glad all of you could join with me here. And oh yes. Yep, planted pretty much everything last week. I'm exhausted. I know. And here's the thing, I'm gonna be going on a trip where I'm gonna be doing a lot of different stuff, and I'm gonna be exhausted, just like you're talking about, from trying to get all the sort of things I'm getting done this week. But yet, I've got a ton of things to be going on and doing too. It's gonna be a great trip. I'm gonna do some sightseeing. I've got some hikes planned. I've got a lot of time set aside for myself to be able to do some things while I'm out and about in Las Vegas and Los Angeles, and also the Bay Area a little bit too. I'll be around doing some things there as well. And during that time, I've got some ideas and some plans for me to be able to do some things as well too for myself. But yeah, I'll be busy, busy, busy. It's not necessarily going to be a vacation. So yeah, and then when I get back, I've got to put all of that stuff together for all of you guys, so you guys can see all of the fun things that I've gotten onto while I was down visiting some of these great projects and people and gardens and all that stuff down there in Southern California. So a lot to look forward to, a lot to get going on, and that's what I'm going to get doing here too myself. Is I'm going to get back out into the garden. I've got a lot of stuff to catch up on, and again, I'm hardening off peppers right now, so I'm also trying to keep an eye out there where the sun is going, because I got to make sure that my peppers only get so much sun today, because that's all they can handle, and then all these sort of other things as well too. So I'm really glad you all joined with me today for this live stream. Really, really appreciate it. Give the video a big thumbs up if you can, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification to be notified of upcoming episodes. And again, we'll see you all on our next garden adventure, on our next video, next week, next Wednesday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for Wednesday Live.